Dr. Devin, and I'm so excited because I have with me in real life Dr. CJoy Mackie. So for everybody out there who does not know you yet, tell the good people out there who you are and what you do.
Hello, I'm Dr. Christina Joy Mackie. I go by CJoy, and yes, I'm a naturopathic doctor here in Wichita, Kansas, and I also do acupuncture. The main thing I do is teaching people and empowering people to learn how God made the body and how it can heal itself, and also that there are tons of alternatives to what we use standard healthcare for. There is tons of alternative means of naturally doing it that way. And so I try to tell people 10% of the time you need conventional medicine, maybe 5%, 90% natural can do it.
So clearly you can see why I love this gal, and how we have not met yet is kind of,
I don't know,
beyond me. We got to share a meal before we jumped on with all of you, and I've been here for 10 years. She's been here for 6, and here our worlds are colliding. It would take 2020
I know,
to
right?
bring us together. Now this podcast, this little playground that I've created is under a concept. I hear the quote, if they knew what we knew, they would do what we do. And we all know something. We're all gifted an experience or education that leads us to health and happiness and wisdom that serves us. What is one big idea? What's one big premise that you wish more people knew that would make them maybe make the road to health and happiness a little easier?
Definitely, I would say alternative to immunizations is just, there's so many people that don't, that don't know. I get too excited about it. It was a sympathetic response. They don't know that there is another way, that there is another way to protect yourself from disease without not doing anything and without harming the brain and without harming the child and without harming the mom. And so that is what I wish.
Now, we don't prep these conversations. I literally say, hey, here's the question I'm going to ask. Ready, go. And I did share some of my backstory with her. I'm a mom. I've got 5 kids. And, when you first, my first, I didn't know there were options, right? I did what my parents do. I did what society does. And multiple things happened in my own journey where I went, God, this just doesn't feel right. But what do you do when you don't do what everybody else does? And so I love that you go there. And right now, I mean, yeah.
It's big.
Yeah, it's big. And so what do you say in practical application? So as you're deciding, do I vaccinate? Do I not vaccinate? First, know that you have options.
Right.
And then say that you decide no, based on whatever reasons that is. How do you empower people with this? What is something tactical that they can do?
The big thing is you can, and hopefully I can share you some resources too, and give to her so you can check out these resources. The biggest thing is to start reading, but reading things that I'll give to her that you can truly understand it to its full degree and understand what it really is before you judge it, before you, because tons of people say there's not research or there's not scientific evidence. There is. There's tons of scientific. It's not paid for. It's not. So you have to look for it and you have to find it. And then you have to take it to your own prayerful place and really understand, does this make sense? Is this a possibility? Is there a possibility that I could use a small frequency of something and tone, strengthen, and educate the immune system to do a protective mechanism for that disease, for that illness, and not have to harm the rest of the body in doing it, but still have a protection that is average 90% protective. And so, and it's a philosophy that's been used over 200 years. So it's not something new. It's something just forgotten.
Yeah. And so for people just getting into homeopathics and she's going to share some of these resources and, like you said, the education.
Yes.
It's huge. And nobody's going to bop you on the head with this,
No.
Here it all is. What we're trying to do is what people have done for me is laying breadcrumbs and then you got to go get it. And so when you take them into a little bit deeper of what homeopathy is and how it applies to current conversations, take us further into the rabbit hole a little bit of, how you've applied it in your own life and what you see it doing in your practice.
Okay. So in the sense of homeopathy for alternative to immunizations is called homeoprophylaxis. And so it's giving a disease before you get the disease to protect you from it. And so in my own practice, I educate mothers mostly and fathers how to teach giving these remedies, and I get them through a certain place. INE Organics is a really amazing place that does a lot of things. Washington Homeopathy is another amazing place that they have really good remedies that you can use for homeoprophylaxis or you can use for regular homeopathy. Mm-hmm. And the difference is homeopathy, you fall down, you cut your knee, you have a scrape, your kid falls on their head. You can use that right then and help the immune system, help the body to heal itself. Homeoprophylaxis, the alternative immunization, is used to prevent a disease like tetanus, tuberculosis, dung fever, any of those traveling diseases also. Mm-hmm. And so I just try to educate that there is these little sugar pellets and you stick them under your tongue or you make a water concoction. And I teach people how to do that and how to get that frequency in their body.
I get so excited because you guys will hear me say over and over again, the doctor of the future is the patient. I see this world that we could live in where people are empowered with a trust and a deep knowing that they are powerful beyond measure, that there is power within them, that there is innate wisdom and intelligence in them, and they know how to operate with tools here on earth that empower that wisdom.
Yes.
That's good nutrition. That's clean air. That's sunshine. That's homeopathy. Very gentle, preventative, and reparative remedies. And can you imagine what that world would look like? Where we aren't, looking out there, but you're talking about parents having toolkits at home.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes and yes. To do it acutely, so you can prevent antibiotics, you can prevent any type of infections and illness, not using Tylenol, not using ibuprofen, not using Midol, not using those, not saying that there isn't a time and place. There may be, very seldom, but that you are empowered with another tool.
Well, and I think we could agree, and I would think most healthcare physicians would agree, you should go less invasive to more invasive.
Amen.
Right? And so I'm grateful that God called all of us to our certain disciplines of healthcare. And if we can work the chain and know the different choices that we have and start at the least and then work our way up, homeopathy and acupuncture, they're not new.
No.
Right? So when you look at modern medicine, you and I look weird. Right? When we talk chiropractic, homeopathy, acupuncture, we're weird. But when you look at the history, what has moved you, inspired you, and changed your life the most about these two disciplines, homeopathy and acupuncture, and the hundreds of years that they carry with them? How would that change the world 2020 to apply some of these ancient wisdoms for those people that maybe haven't operated in our crazy world?
Well, I think it also goes back to we've both experienced it. And when you've experienced something, you can't forget it. No. You can't deny it. And so it's this, when I was, 18, I got really sick, and the doctor used natural medicine on me. He used nutrition. He used homeopathy. He used acupuncture. And when I got to see myself in the eyes of trusting this other person that did something completely different, that wasn't drugs or surgery, and honestly, I call it my little deathbed experience, I was like, Lord, just take me. Just take me. If there's not another way to do this, then, and I think we can all get to that in certain times in our lives. And then when we finally get to the point of opening ourselves to something new, that's when my life changed. And so I come from a place of, I know it works because I wouldn't be on this video with you if it didn't. And so that is part of, I asked the Lord to heal me. And since he did through those means, and those were his tools, I have to share it. It's like my debt, my love, my passion, because that's the reason. So yeah, through experience, and then also getting to see how they get to change.
The transformation.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. And you know, raising kids, right?
Wow.
I mean, I know you serve a lot of families, and we're both on a big mission within our communities, and that responsibility feels big.
Yes, it does.
To the children, because you can look at health statistics across the board, and I've heard it said in more spaces than I can count, this generation of kids may be the first to not outlive their parents. And then we're dealing with raising the sickest generation of children in history. And that I can't be okay with that.
Me either.
You know, I mean,
No.
and my experience is that I do have 5 kids, and that, you know, I did start my first in the traditional box and through a few series of immunizations, but then we stopped, you know, and under his first year of life, and then the other 4 kiddos have never had any. And at first, I mean, I was terrified. You know, to not do what the doctor tells you to do is to go against and there's a lot of shame that gets put on a parent's shoulder if you don't do as they tell you to do. But now here I've got these 4 vibrant, healthy kids, and I'd put them, you know, toe to toe with just about anybody immune system wise. And it's like proof is in the pudding, and I can't unknow that. Right. So what do you say to the moms, to the dads out there that have these big decisions to make? What is a message from your heart, from God really through your heart, that'll serve them as they navigate making these choices and creating a new world, right? It's going to be a new normal.
It is.
It is. But I think it'll be better, especially if we can apply some of this. So what would you say to the moms and dads?
Wow. Seek and ye will find. That is, keep knocking. Don't let anything stop you from deep down. Mothers, listen to your gut. Your gut tells you you were made for this mission. You were made to be a mom. You were made to protect your young. And fathers, you were made to be a leader in the family. And also let the wife come to you if she may be the first one that gets this intuition, this gut-like feeling, and just listen to her. And wives, don't be bossy about it. Just come to him and tell him your thoughts and tell him your feelings and tell him what you're learning. And wives, we're going to have to humble ourselves also, because sometimes it's our husbands finding out before. And so seek and you will find, because the truth is not something that you can't find. It's something that you just got to be open to. And it's when we close ourselves off. And so that's my biggest thing, is that, and also that you're building a different environment, being open to hearing different viewpoints. That's sometimes the hardest. Even in sometimes I want to go and listen. It's been one of the hardest things to go and listen to somebody that does vaccinate. I don't need to go and judge them or anything. I need to go and learn why they say because through that experience, I can learn why I do what I do and what I need to do, what I need to say in this conversation. And so it's not anything about judging. It's truly about learning, gathering information, but seeking. And don't let that inner gut feeling. There's so many moms that come to me like, I didn't feel right about this. I didn't feel right. And it's the moms and the families and the fathers that are going to change this. That's the change.
That's it. I mean, that's the motivating factor for this, and I believe why God keeps, you know, connecting me to people like you. So I'll take that and just add only one piece, which is you're not alone. And you have people like her. And whether you're in Wichita or not, her and I would absolutely help in any way that we can, and help connect you to people in your communities. Or if you seek and you find, you go looking for it, it will be given to you.
Yes, it will.
And the light will always
Thanks for that second part.
Find the way. You know, I mean, because it's scary.
It is.
Brene Brown wrote a book called Braving the Wilderness, and when you step out of the box, that concept of, oh my gosh, wait a minute, I don't have a compass for out here because I'm not doing it like everybody else did. It can feel scary. And within your marriage, within your family unit, within your friends and family, I mean, you can look at the discord and disagreements around everything right now, and we want people to be more connected, not disconnected.
Yes.
So ask questions. If you ask a question in the comments of this video, or you share this and post a thought, we get to have a conversation about it. And then together we get closer to truth and understanding and compassion and all of those big, beautiful things that really are the light of the world. Any closing remarks, or how do they find you if they do want to connect with you?
Okay, so the best way would be through email. Enjoy, so it's INJOY wellnessclinic.com. Just send me an email and I will get back with you, or my office manager will. One of us will, and I will probably personally reach out to you via text if you're okay with that. So put your number in there that I can text you. That's my fastest way. And I would be more than happy to answer any questions, to give you just one little tool, to give you 3 or 4, just to get you a little more secure in the route that you're thinking about, or the route that you're open to, or and know that there's always something more. So what we're bringing here, there's even more. And so there's so much more. And so I will give you those resources. Yes. But they'll be a great start for you.
Yeah. And we learned so much from you and
Amen.
With you. So speak up and let us hear you, because this is genuinely from our hearts to all of you in our community and in the world. And let's take everything that we've gone through together and let's make something big and beautiful out of it. So thank you so much for being here with me. And I have a feeling, if I'm a betting gal, I have a feeling that her and I are going to play together a lot more in the days to come. And I'll absolutely have her back with more questions where we can jump into it, because I think of all the mama bears in my practice and in my life that I wish somebody would have told me sooner. Right? Yeah. It nags at me where it's just, I wish if I would have known sooner. And so now somebody out there is going to know, because we came together. So sooner. Thank you guys for playing with us tonight. If you need anything or we can support you in any way, please give us a shout. I love you and I appreciate you. I will be seeing you soon.
Bye.